How are you all today? We're outside again. We are out here. Oh, yes, yes, we're outside. Today is day number 30 of the Show Up Challenge. It's been amazing. I don't want it to end, you all. I don't want it to end. So we're outside again today. You know, I wanted to do this by the water. But when I came out here also today, look at this. It was beautiful curls, and I'm telling you, the humidity has gotten to it. It was not humid the last couple days, and today is humid. Here we are. Anyway, I'm showing up no matter what. Y'all get to see the humidified hairstyle here. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. I always want to see and give acknowledgement to you, give credit to you for being here, for showing up. Y'all going to see me doing this a lot because I cannot believe that this humidity the curls were there, you all. I promise you the curls was there. And I've probably been out here 5 minutes. Everything was set up and I just came out and oh my gosh, 5 minutes. Anyway, okay. It's probably going to turn into an afro, a nice little bush. By the time the broadcast is over with. But yesterday we talked about when they can see through you. We talked about transparency. And we talked about the fact that, well, we talked about what it is and really what it was not, which is not concealing, not hiding, but letting your followers, letting know those people who you have connection with, your observer, see you and watch you and reveal some things about you. We talked about not hiding. There's no secrets. This was what transparency is all about. It's about truth. It's about establishing trust with them. There's no lies. It encourages them, and they trust you. You show them your mistakes. You've seen my mistakes. My goodness, this is a mistake today. I wanted to be out in the water, and I've been wanting to do that, and I've been planning it every single day. That just didn't happen. Maybe I'll just come back one day while I'm in the area and just come live and just say, here, see, I promised you. So we talked about the difference between honesty and transparency. I mentioned to you, and we talked about how it makes them feel valued. So in honesty, I said that when you're honest and when you're transparent, when you let them see right through you, you are revealing your truth when you're honest. Transparency means that others can see themselves in the truths that you are sharing, that you are offering. They can see themselves in that, and they see the things that they need to know. That was day 29. So tomorrow, not tomorrow. Am I ready for this to end because there's humidity out here? No. Today. Oh gosh, this is terrible. This is really bad. Okay. Let me move on. Today, day number 30, is about ask me anything. Ask your questions to me. So do you have your questions? If you have your questions, go ahead and start to key them in so I can answer the questions for you. I see Helen is here. Okay, so I'm going to have to definitely give it some time because Helen probably typed that maybe 5 minutes ago. So go ahead and start keying in your questions. Go ahead and say where you are, and you can add your questions to it as well. I'm going to point some things out to you, so let me just tell you what Helen says. Helen says, grand risings, exclamation point. I love exclamation points, y'all. And she says, sending you good vibes from New York on this day 30. She said, let's continue to show up for ourselves, celebrate our wins, and identify our areas of growth. Absolutely. Yes, you want to do that. Also, you definitely want to share and show up in your wins, all your wins, and your mistakes too. Show up in them. We talked about that. Show up in identifying those areas. Make a list. You know, I told you I must be the list lady. Make a list, but show up in them. Hi, Jacqueline. I see you here. So you all go ahead and put your questions in, the things that you want to ask me, things that you want to know. Go ahead and put those things in. Wow, it's crazy. All of these little pop-ups are coming in at the same time. So let me tell you, like I said, I'll go over my plan while you're putting your questions in that you want to ask me. Anything that you want to ask me, I'm going to answer your questions today. This is where you have the show in the Show Up Challenge today. Apologize. My hair was in nice waves, y'all, and it's humid out here. And so now it's Afro Street. I don't know what you call it. You see a little bit of the wave there, but that wave is going because that wave was definitely more intense than it is right now. Let me see. I'll go ahead and continue. So I was talking about this humidified hair. Oh gosh, I wanted to go back and do it again. So ask your questions to me. Any questions that you have about the Show Up Challenge. You can also ask me about affirmations. Francine is here, and it's Francine's birthday today, you all. Happy birthday, Francine. Happy birthday. Yesterday was Lakia's birthday, and I wanted to acknowledge her, but she wasn't here live. So happy belated birthday to Lakia on yesterday. So let me go ahead and continue about other questions that you could ask me. You could ask me questions about if you got questions about business startup or business in general. I've been in business since, I know I'm aging myself, but you already know my age because I shared it with you on my birthday. So I've been in business for over 40 years. Yes, 40 years. Don't I look minus 40? I started in the womb. Okay. So anyway, you could ask me questions about career change because I also did changes in career. I've changed. I started in the medical field. I didn't share this with you all, but I started in the medical field, and I moved from the medical field. And I'm giving you more time to ask your other questions inside the comments. So any questions about survival, any business tips, anything that you want to ask. And let me see if it's anything else you want to ask me. Some questions about competition. I think I shared with you affirmations and so forth. I want to ask you if you would also I just been tasked a responsibility or an accountability, and I need to do this. So I need to ask something of you, and that is I'm going to be having a webinar and a seminar, and it's going to be live on my website. And so I need to have some video testimonials, how this Show Up Challenge has been for you, and how you have grown from it, what has it meant for you. So let me go ahead and start to answer the questions that you have. The first question is from Helen. What do you feel has been most helpful to you in pivoting your business during these COVID times? Oh my gosh, yes. So what's been helpful for me has been staying focused. I've been staying focused, Helen. And everything and if I don't answer your question clearly, or if it's not the answer that you're looking for, go ahead and add additional questions to it. So what I have done is I just stayed focused and I stayed on track. I actually lost all of my clients that I was currently serving. And then all the new clients that was coming, I lost all of those clients as well. So regardless, I continued. I did the same thing. I got up every morning. I came to my office. I started working. I was able and ready and available to receive their calls. And even though the calls was not coming, I started to continue the things that I had planned to do in the business, which was upgrading my social media accounts, upgrading the website. And so I've stayed focused, and I've stayed consistent, and I stayed persistent. This actually started happening in March. And so the other part of what I had to do was I had started beginning of the year purging. And so I continued purging. And then as I was doing those things and clearing up, the idea to go ahead and do the Show Up Challenge came. And so when I had additional time later on, I prepared for that. So I hope that answers your question, Helen. And actually, I've continued to have business because I stayed focused. I didn't stop. Let me take that back. I did stop a little bit because I think we all were a little shocked that everything was shut down. This is the first time ever in our lifetime and in these generations that this has happened. So that's what I did, and that's what I continue to do. I seem to be much more busier now, and because I always plan to have an online business, but I was doing everything else. Seems like God did. He shut down those other businesses so I can do this business, which I was supposed to have been doing more than 3 years ago. So hopefully that answers your question. So let me scroll down. Let me see. So Helen asked another question. She asked, what has been your biggest lesson learned from doing the Show Up Challenge? I love that question. I love that question. Oh, my hair is going poof. I'll just do it like this. Let me leave my hair alone. Okay, so the biggest lesson I learned is that I need sleep. That's the biggest lesson. It's several lessons, so I'm going to share more than one. Other things were still going on. A holiday came, my birthday, another, didn't prepare for that. I had prepared to be a part of this. I had relatives that came out of town. I experienced some tragedies that happened within my family and tragedies outside of death, and then I experienced a death in my family. All of these, I had to keep going and I had to keep pushing forward. So the biggest lesson I learned in the show up challenge was to stay organized, pay attention to my intuition, pay attention to what God is saying to me, and quickly change and quickly adapt. Because I started off with notes. And then I shared with you all these cards. I had these cards. Here, ask me anything. Remember? And then I started with little small index cards, and I said, oh no, that's not big enough. So I needed to have something that was there so that I can reference so I don't forget the points that I needed to make. I made sure I was prepared and I did not come cold. I started off with a couple points. And then it turned, I started off with 3 points. And then it turned into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different areas that I wanted to make sure that I had covered in here. So staying focused, being open. The biggest challenge and the biggest conflict was all the unforeseen things that was happening. Who knew that during the challenge I was going to have unexpected guests, death in the family, and the answer to, or just not the answers to, but just the phone calls of tragedies. I had a nephew that was in a very serious car accident, and yes, and he lives in the South, but he's still with us, but he was very critical and he's in ICU. And then I had a niece that was diagnosed with COVID, and then she subsequently passed. And so that has been my challenge, is staying focused and staying on track. Let's see. Let me continue to scroll down. Helen says, happy birthday, Francine. And Francine says, yes, you do. I'm sure that is to what I had said earlier. Okay, let me continue on. In the midst of you might have heard that in the background. I forgot to turn my volume down. Text messages and phone calls, interruptions and unforeseen things like the humidity. When I came out here, I wasn't expecting this. I wanted y'all to see this beautiful greenery because I couldn't show you the water. Oh yeah, I forgot about the trip and no internet. Oh gosh, it was lots of challenges, but I stayed focused. I stayed committed. I made a decision. You know what? The decision is in your mind. Once you make, everybody says it's in your mind, and it's so true. Once you make up in your mind that you're going to do it, it's done. All the other things happen around it. All the other things happen around it. But when you make up in your mind, like I started the other challenge, and it was a 30-day vegan diet. I started right after my birthday because I was eating everything. And I usually do eat everything on my birthday, but I decided, okay, it's time to drop the pounds off. But I decided in my mind that I was going to do it, and I decided I want to take somebody with me. So I created a meme, posted it on my personal page, and a few of you chimed in and said I wanted to join the challenge, and we've already started. I'm on I think this is day 6 for me. The other days are, and I'm giving you more time to put your questions in, but and then I'm going to continue on. Oh my gosh, look how much time it is. Let me stop talking about that. If you want to know more about that challenge, I'll tell you. I had no idea it was 20 minutes into it. Okay, excuse me. Okay, so Helen asked what question. Let me just go back and make sure I did answer that question. Oh, yes, what I have learned. Okay. Helen also asked, what did you do in the medical field? So I started off in medical records. Actually, is what I started. I wanted to do something in the medical field. So when I was in high school, I knew I always wanted to do something in the medical field. And I could never get my questions answered about the body and how it functions and how it works. And you all know our lady things each month that happens. And I was not getting those questions answered. And I just became obsessed as a little girl about the body and how it functioned. I started researching. You all remember encyclopedias, right? I looked up encyclopedias. And as I grew, I continued to want to do that. I was considering becoming a nurse, And then what happened is after I saw a comatose patient, I decided no, I didn't want to do that. But I like paperwork, so I wanted to do the paperwork, and it was a toss between patient contact, no patient contact, doing medical transcription or medical records. And so I chose medical records because there was no patient contacts, but I was reading records, classifying, and documenting them. Hello, Andre. I see you here. Let me see. What's the next question? Helen says, I could not have asked for a better answer to my question. Thank you so much for sharing. Oh, you're welcome. Okay, Francine asks, on her birthday, Francine asks, what fears have you faced? And Francine, I'd like for you to ask me a little bit more. I'm not sure if in what areas or what aspects. So the fears, let me see, I'll just talk about the show up challenge. I guess, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what you mean when you say what fears have I faced, in what areas. So maybe you can give me a little bit of clarity. But I definitely have had fears. I shared with you all about the fear of the mouse and how I realized that God said that I am not to be afraid of animals, they are afraid of me. And that He is not the author of fear. And I should not possess fear. So I release that. So sometimes I don't call it fear, I call it hesitations. I grew up afraid of the dark. I got over that because I realized that all I had to do was turn on the light and there was no more darkness. Let me see. Afraid and business. Oh, let me tell you about the show up challenge. So when I started here, I guess we're going to go a little bit longer, y'all. I want to make sure I get your questions answered. So when I started fear in the show up challenge, the very first day I got I wasn't afraid, I was nervous. The nervous and the tension came on, and what I did is I inhaled and I exhaled. I inhaled and I exhaled. Gosh, that happened again, and I just started to calm down. I'm not afraid now. I'm not tense now. I am excited. So, but that little bit of inhale and exhale calmed me down. So continue to ask your questions because if we sign off, I'll continue to answer your questions inside of the comments. Francine asks, can you share your services? Yes. So my services is one-on-one coaching, and I need to put, because I was here just for the show up challenge. Let me just make a note to share my services and post that because I didn't say any of that at all. I was too busy. I was going to post things, and then I would get pulled by so many things, and especially with the things happening in the family. I have to go back to the recordings and make sure I get those posted. So my service is one-on-one coaching. I also have a webinar. I actually have more than one webinar on career change and also on developing and producing a challenge. I'm trying to think of those, the ones that are related because these are new services. But the services that I was currently working, I would say prior to COVID, was trade show development and production. So I still am, I just don't have any clients in that, developing and producing trade shows. And that's in the event planning, management, conference development industry. I'm transitioning out of that and going to be moving into life coaching. I guess I don't want to really call it life coaching, but it's about helping women in bondage recover and come out of it while thriving in their business. I don't have the actual title for that yet, but that's pretty much in the area of what it's going to be. So one-on-one coaching, seminars. My primary gift is teaching. My secondary gift is leadership, and my third gift is production. And so I specialize in those areas. So let me just scroll down and see. I hope I answered your question, Francine, about if I could share my services. If that did not, then I will make sure I answer them inside of the group. Okay, Helen says, good morning, Lakia. Hope you had a wonderful birthday. And then Francine says, yes, the show up challenge. Helen says, happy belated birthday, Lakia. And then Jacqueline says, oh, Jacqueline is here. You got through. Okay, wonderful. Jacqueline says, you said that you have started several businesses. How many businesses? Very good question. How many businesses have you started? And where have you been most successful? So I've started 6 businesses. I actually have been successful in each one, but I've not had I had the passion in only one of them. I'm feeling led that I need to say this. The businesses, Many of the businesses, except for one that I started, was because I was surviving that narcissistic marriage. That's a whole other conversation. But I did. I started 6 businesses. So the first business was in medical records. I became a medical record consultant. So I started consulting in medical records in May of 1980. And in June of 86, I had 6 clients. And then 6 years after that, in 1986, I went out full time. And I've been full time in business ever since. The other business that I started after that was a gift basket business. So I was teaching myself sales and marketing because there was no real training out there. And there was some training, but it was extremely expensive and I didn't have the funds. So I decided to establish a business and teach myself. I took on some contractual jobs to learn a little bit about sales and marketing. So I'm excellent with that. I know how to close, if you're all familiar with closing. And that's a key component into sales. And so after I did sales and marketing, so in sales and marketing, I did home improvements. I did window treatments and kitchens and baths. I sold those different things. I sold, alarm systems, and it was a couple other things, little small things. And I did have one of those multi-level marketing businesses. That was just to kickstart my ability to sell, mostly. But I was in there for probably only about 6 months, and the owner of that said he knew that I was going to come out because I did not belong. I was a true entrepreneur, and I did not belong in the multi-level marketing or direct marketing space. After the gift baskets, then I changed careers, and I moved into I changed from the medical field into the sales and marketing industry. And within sales and marketing industry, I changed to different sales type positions. So after gift baskets, I started a trade show. And the trade show was wedding shows. And from wedding shows, I did other types of trade shows as well. But I started with a wedding show. The name of that show was the Christian Bridal Showcase. And then I started other type of shows. I became experienced with producing niche bridal shows, niche wedding shows. I developed the Black and Beautiful Wedding Expo, Latino and Hispanic wedding show, evening and candlelight wedding expo, and the outdoor and garden wedding show. So those were different niche type of wedding shows. And then I have developed and produced business expos, job fairs, and green healthy living expos. So I did the transition into those. I also established a training and development company, and that was in the industry of gift baskets, and the name of that company is the Institute of Gift Basket Design. And so I've always been good with coming up with names and titles for the business. I have to think about it, but I'll always receive from that. So that was I hope that answered your question here. I don't see any other questions. Let me just see if I see any other questions coming up. I don't see any other questions coming up about my business. So hopefully I answered your question, Jacqueline, about how many business let me see, and where I have been most successful. Let me answer that question. So I would say, I've been successful in all of them. I will say my most successful business was gift baskets, and that's because I wrote a business plan for it. The other businesses I started, they were all lucrative. I made money. I bought homes with them, cars with them. I supported many people and many things in each of those businesses. But I would say the one that for me seems always successful is the one that I wrote a business plan for and did. And I didn't mention that to you, but also that's one of the services I provide is on helping you write and develop your business plan. Francine asked the questions, what's next after this? Very good question, Francine. So what's next after this? Tomorrow, I'm going to be announcing all the winners. But what's next after this is I'm going to come back with a webinar. The webinar is going to be a recap of the Show Up Challenge. It's going to be a Zoom, and it's going to be posted inside here. And then after the Show Up Challenge, then I will start to launch the online coaching business, which is coaching in business startup. It's going to be a skinny budget business. Wow, let me just scroll up and let me see. Oh, Lakia's here. Hi, Lakia. Happy belated birthday on yesterday. Okay, so Lakia says, and Francine, I hope I answered your question. If I did not, let me know. Oh, y'all are staying here well over 30 minutes. Okay. The goal was always to only do 30 minutes and start off with only doing about 10, and then it just continued to increase. So the next question is, what type of work have you done with helping people with their business besides a business plan? Excellent, Lakia. So I have helped them launch their actual business, and they have launched several businesses. I'm thinking of one. Most people come to me that ask the questions how to start a business. And so that's what I have focused on. So I've had people to start a consulting business. I'm looking at your question, so I just make sure you say, what type of work have I done? I have gone inside their business and analyzed the businesses and find out what their needs are. Basically did an assessment to find out where they need to develop to improve on. I came up with sales strategies and marketing strategies for them so they can start to make money. My goal is not just to start a business and just do the process, but to make money and start making money today, right now. And so that's been what I focused on. Let me just see, I want to make sure. Helping people with their business besides a business plan. I have actually performed. I've been a consultant in their business where I actually did the work. And then I've been an advisor in their business. I've also served on board of directors, as well as board of advisors. I have a tech streak. I like technology. And so I have advised them in technology, although that's not been an area that I have focused on. Okay, so hopefully that has been the answer to your question, Lakia. And the next question, Jacqueline says, wow, you're amazing. Got me smiling. Okay, Jacqueline says, yes, I have done a lot. Thank you for sharing your wisdom and expertise. Lakia says, thank you, exclamation point. Okay, so I don't see any other questions. So my question to you was, I wanted to ask you if you would be interested in being featured in an upcoming training. It's going to appear on my website. And if you are, I would like for you to give me a video testimonial about how this show up training or the show up challenge has been good for you, has been beneficial to you, how it's helped you. And then I'd like for you to also, you can email it, you can email me a link, or you can send it to me, you can download it. You can also, you know what, you can actually post your testimony. You can do a video and you can post it inside of the Propel to Greatness group. Lakia asks, do you have experience with helping people get MWBE certifications? No, Lakia, I do not. I have access to it. I did not have an interest in having certifications. That's minority women-owned businesses and enterprises. That's what MWBE stands for, unless they've changed it. I chose not to do that because I was not interested in government contracts or any other contracts. I wanted to serve businesses and the decision maker directly. And I wanted to really work with the startup small business. And so that's the reason why I did not seek those out. So no, I don't have experience in obtaining or gaining those type of certifications, but I might be able to give you some direction. When we continue with our sessions, I can give you some direction on that. Has this been good for you? I hope it has. I hope it has. Gosh, I had no idea that you had these many questions. That's good. I hope my answers has been great for you. And I answered your questions. Let's see. So let me know if you would be interested in doing that. I would like to have your testimonial anyway. Regardless, you all have been letting me know as we've been going along how it has been for you. Oh, your action step. I guess that is your action step. Is that you give me a testimonial what this has been for you. I always want to give you an action step and how it has been. I know you all have said that at different times. But also, if you would let me know about your testimonials. I was going to skip right into the end. And you know what the prizes are. I posted them inside. And I have to tell you, one of the gift baskets, oh, that's wonderful. Lakia says, thank you, definitely good. I have to tell you, one of the gifts that I wanted to give you was a gift basket. It's not finished. I wanted to design it with all these things that has been happening. I've not been able to. So maybe I'll take a picture of it, post it. It'll be made today, and then I will have it and show it to you on tomorrow. But I want to do a gift basket giveaway as a part of the giveaway. So I don't have all of that because the things I've ordered has been very slow coming. And so you all know how that has been. So listen, everybody, have a good day today. I wanted to make sure that you benefited from these questions. I've been also, I forgot to tell you that I've been in the meeting planning. I did say event planning and meeting conference planning development, but there was a company inside of that where I provided meeting planning and production. So again, anyway, you all have a good day today. And as always, I hope this always has been good for you, that it's been perfecting and it's been growth for you. And I will see you all on day number 31 tomorrow. Have a good day. All right. Take care. You all have a good day. Inside of the Propel to Greatness Show Up Challenge. I will see you tomorrow. Take it now.